Hey everyone, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a first impression video on the new Maybelline Dream Cushion Fresh Face Liquid Foundation. So I'm going to be applying it in a second without any makeup on so you can see what it looks like before, after. Half my face is going to be applied with a primer powder to see how it works with oily skin, and the other half without so you can see if it ends up being glowy, if it emphasizes any dry patches that I might have. So I'm going to be updating you throughout the day so you can see how it lasts. Just wanted to also give the information that I have right now. There's going to be 8 shades, so not the biggest range of colors. You might have issues finding your right color. Right now I'm going to be applying the color 20, which is Classic Ivory. I'm currently wearing it right now, magic of editing. In the US it's going to be $15.99, in Canada $18.99, so depending where you're from you might find it expensive or not. Canada it's kind of on the pricier side, but it's not that bad. US it's probably more a little bit on the expensive side. You get half an ounce of foundation. Usually in a normal foundation you'll get a full ounce, so quantity price it's definitely up there. But I have to say it's usually the case with cushion foundations, so it's kind of how it goes. It's supposed to be available December 2016, so you should be able to try and find it. The rest of the spring line is supposed to be available January 2017, so you should be able to start finding the products here and there in the drugstore. Okay, so I'm currently not wearing any makeup on my first half. I'm going to apply some primer and some powder just to see if it helps controlling the oil, because that's usually what I do because my skin is oily now. And the other half I'm going to apply just the cushion foundation just so we can see it on its own, how it acts. So I'm going to apply the color 20, which is the one that was sent to me. The color might not be perfect. I'll just blend it down my neck just so we can test out the formula today. I don't have a lot to cover right now. I might actually zoom in a little bit more. So you can see I have a little bit of leftovers like redness from pimples and a little bit on my nose too. I also have a little bit of dry patches on my nose, so if it clings to those we will be able to tell on my nose. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to zoom you out a little bit because that's really close. So on my left I'm going to apply a little bit of the Becca primer because this is the one that I've been using and it's been controlling my oil really well. You do have to like use it a certain way for it to work, but we'll be able to see if it controls the oil or not. Since I've been using it daily, I'm going to really be able to tell how the foundation works over it. Now let's apply foundation. By the way, I really like the font, which I know is something a little silly to mention, but I don't know. Those type of things makes me want to buy the product or not. So it obviously comes with a little puff. I know some people love using them. I don't mind them. If I forgot my beauty blender and I'm on the go, I will use this and it works fine for me. And then underneath you get, oops, the cushion foundation. So this is the color 20, which is Classic Ivory. So this is what it looks freshly swatched, and underneath right here it was swatched a few minutes ago, so you can see it does dry pretty much the same color, so it doesn't seem to be oxidizing, which is always good. So let's do this. The coverage is actually really good. Oh, I don't know about you, but I'm used to like cushion foundation having like light coverage, which I like. I don't mind it at all. But this one definitely seems to have a lot of coverage. Obviously, if you apply it with a brush, there's always more coverage in the Beauty Blender, but I like the natural finish that the Beauty Blender gives. But this has some coverage. Ooh. Actually, let me try it with a brush on my forehead just to see if it applies well with the brush too. Wow. Yeah, with the brush, it's like super coverage. Oh my. You might be able to tell better with this light. So you can see, obviously the color is different because it wasn't the perfect match for my skin tone, but you can see that my skin looks flawless on this side. Like, there's quite a bit of coverage considering that it's a cushion foundation. I've never tried a cushion foundation with this much coverage. I have to say I haven't tried that many, but whoo, and I really like the finish. Like if you have dry skin, there's so much like shine and glowiness. Obviously they do say like fresh face, so that was to be expected, but I really like it. So let's try on the other side with the primer and powder. Wow, so much coverage. I really didn't expect that. I applied a bit too much primer there and it's clinging to it, but that's not the foundation's fault, it's really the primer. You have to use it carefully because otherwise it does that. I'm gonna try to make it better. Okay, so this is what it looks like, final result. I'm gonna be applying powder on this side whenever I do the rest of my makeup, but I just wanted to let you see it, what it looks like. I'm really impressed with the coverage. It looks great. Obviously the pores are less visible on the side with the primer, but that's basically the primer's job, not the foundation's fault. I honestly have nothing to say. It doesn't seem to emphasize my dry patches too much right now, which I'm surprised because everything has been emphasizing them lately. But I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup and I'm gonna come back and show you what it looks like. So it's been an hour and I applied the rest of my makeup and I wanted to update you, and honestly I had no issue applying my makeup on top of it. I know that sometimes whenever you apply cheek products on top of a foundation that you didn't set in place, especially if it's like a fresh face glowy product, they can tend to like, you know, streak a little bit and tend to cling to those parts, but I really had no issue applying my bronzer and blush. I didn't apply any highlight because I wanted you to see the natural glow. And this is the side that I didn't apply any highlighter, and you can see the glow. Like, this is really glowy. It's really nice. On this side, yeah, there's still a really natural glow to it. So if you have oily skin, and sometimes when you feel like, oh, is there really a point of buying a foundation that is glowy and luminous if I'm going to be using a primer or a powder? Well, seems like it is. So no highlighter. I'm going to zoom you in so you can see it better. I would say it's probably like a medium coverage. It's very natural looking. I know sometimes the more coverage you have, the more like cakey it can look. Right now it doesn't look cakey whatsoever. I do have to say, since my skin is more on the combination oily side lately, I would set it with powder, and as you can see this side I did, and there's definitely still some glow. Like I said, no highlighter, and like there's a really natural nice glow. So if you were wondering, is it worth it if I have oily skin? So far I would say so, and not cakey again on this side either. Oh, and now that I think about it, you can see from up close, it's not streaky or anything with the cheek products, which is always good. So far it's a thumbs up from me. I'm gonna be updating you at the end of the day unless there's something happening. And by the way, what's on my lips is another one of their new product. This is a new matte lipstick. This one is Almond Rose 565, and I'm in love. Like, I will be doing lip swatches, obviously, whenever I get my hands on all the colors, but this is so beautiful, and obviously I'm wearing it right now. Love it, and still love the formula, obviously. So yeah, just wanted to throw it out there because I'm sure I'm gonna get the question, but those are awesome. So see you later. Okay, so it's now 4:30 and I've been wearing this foundation for like 7 hours and 30 minutes so far, and I wanted to update you because in the last hour I've definitely started feeling really oily on this half that doesn't have anything, so I wanted to update you and show you how it's looking. It's definitely starting to look more like a oiliness than really a glow, but if you have dry skin, it's definitely going to be working for you. I do feel like it's emphasizing a tiny bit my dry patches, but like I said, they've been pretty bad lately. I wanted to see also if I can reapply some powder and see if it's gonna help. On the other half, you can see it is definitely still glowy, but it doesn't feel as oily, like nowhere near. Like, it doesn't feel like it's transferring. On the other side though, I can definitely start feeling like a sticky oiliness, especially on my forehead. It feels like it's really bad. I want to see if I can just apply powder over it without it looking cakey. But I'm definitely impressed that it's still on my face, considering that is more of a glowy foundation. Usually they don't tend to work for like dry skin and oily skin, but this one definitely seems like it would work for most people. Obviously you adapt with a bit of powder and a bit of primer. I want to test on my chin if it's going to look cakey or not if I apply some powder on top. Let's see. I'm gonna try like a third of my face. It's not the foundation's fault, but I really think that primer is very difficult. Like, some foundation it will work perfectly with, and other ones it looks like crap. And I feel like it's starting to not look so good wherever I apply it, especially. So not the foundation's fault. On the other side, whenever I apply just a bit of powder, it definitely doesn't look cakey. It definitely helps with the oil though. So I can definitely see this foundation working really well if you have dry skin, because it doesn't seem to emphasize too much dry patches. And if you just want glowiness, this is definitely something that's not going to dry you out. And also feels very lightweight. I don't feel it at all on my face, which is great for the coverage especially. If you have oily skin, you will have to adapt and use powder or a primer and powder. So we're the second day. I had some technology issues, so I wanted to finish the video today. On the bright side, I was able to test the foundation another day. I actually tried a different primer underneath, and I feel like this one works better than the Becca one that I tried yesterday. And I like the way it looks. Actually, let me zoom you in. So it still looks really, really nice. I used powder all over my face, and I like the like healthy glow. So yesterday, what I was saying before my camera just shut down, is that if you have oily skin, you can definitely make it work by adding some powder or primer, but that's kind of how it usually works for oily skin. So overall, I do like the foundation. I will keep using it. Obviously, I'm wearing it today, and so far I do like it. It's a very natural, light medium coverage, easily buildable. Doesn't look cakey, feels really lightweight on the skin, and so far I really like it and I will keep using it. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and to subscribe if it's not already done, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.